up, fam? This is the first episode of How to Survive Being Trans, and the topic I want to talk about today is being misgendered. And these are going to be some coping mechanisms that I personally use to deal with being misgendered. And the first thing I do, if I ever am, I ask myself, am I who I say I am? Personally, yes. So being misgendered doesn't really bother me, depending upon who is the one misgendering me. So that's something that you can ask yourself, because if you are who you say you are, then if you're misgendered, oh well, I still am who I am. That doesn't change anything. It still hurts, yes, but if you're constantly being offended by it, you're never gonna give yourself an opportunity to grow either. You're gonna be too concerned about how you're coming off. The next question you can ask yourself is, should you react to being misgendered? And that depends on usually the situation or who is misgendering you. So usually when it is a stranger misgendering me, I really honestly I don't care, because I'm never gonna see you again usually. So you misgender me, oh well. But if it's a close friend, you can also ask yourself how close you are to this person, because if you're really close to this person's misgendering you, that's not really a friend. A friend is going to support you in what you want to do. That might just be your acquaintance, and that's okay. You don't have to have friends like that. Okay? You don't have to choose to deal with friends who treat you like that. If it's a family member, it still depends on the strength of the relationship. If that family member is someone super close to you and they're misgendering you, it's tough to try to correct them, but it still may be necessary in order for you to feel comfortable where you are. And if it still continues after that, maybe it's just time to let that person, or give that person just some time to adjust, and just not let them take so much control of your emotions that you let it bother you. When it comes to correcting people, there can be some complications that arise. And when it's family, and when you want to correct them, you kind of put yourself in a position where it's like, oh, is there going to be a more complicated relationship because I'm constantly trying to correct them and put them in a position? Because as much as you're in a position, you also have to realize that you're putting someone else in a position as well. And as messed up as it is, that's honestly just what it is. And that's something that you personally have to deal with. It's a personal struggle that you have to go through with the transition, and you have to be okay with that. You have to be okay with being in situations where you're going to be uncomfortable, because it's going to happen. It's very rare that you're going to be in a situation where everybody just knows your gender, and you have to be okay with that. You can ask yourself, like, are these problems going to arise if you constantly correct them? If yes, there's going to be issues. You can weigh out your options. You can really weigh out your pros and cons to see if it's really worth it to try to stress that issue at the moment. Because if it is worth it, then go for it, being aware that there may be some backlash. There may be some time where they're gonna still not get it, or they may just be uncomfortable, or you guys are just gonna be in an uncomfortable situation. And if you're not really ready to go through that, then maybe just give it some time and just let time kind of take over what happens. Because you can correct someone as much as you want, but if they're just not ready, they just aren't ready, but you still have to live your life. Okay? When it comes to friends, if you are really friends, like you guys really have a close connection and you're really friends, then it really shouldn't be an issue when you correct them. But there still may be some friends who may not agree with you, in which you may have to give it some time as well. And there's nothing wrong with that. You may not be able to hang out with them every day as they are taking their time, but It may be what they need in order to cope with what they're internally dealing with, and it gives you some time to, and it really shows you more too, who's really there for you and who isn't there for you right now. You cannot force people to call you by the right gender. You just can't. You just can't. Okay? If they really aren't trying to change their mind and it's really bothering you, then don't let them hold so much importance or so much fulfillment in your life that them not calling you the right gender breaks you or makes you want to stop or makes you want to change yourself, because you got to be who you say you are. And strangers or acquaintances, honestly, it really doesn't matter. You're not going to see them again. You can, it depends on the situation, but it really doesn't matter. They don't really hold importance in your life, so you cannot let them hold that weight. Random people misgendering, you just don't let it hold weight. But if you're gonna see them again, like if you're at a job and it's a regular customer, you know, maybe the first time you let it slide, the second, third time maybe you can bring it up to make yourself more comfortable. And strangers, they really shouldn't have any issues, because they don't know you personally, you don't know them personally. It really shouldn't be an issue. But you also shouldn't let it bother you, because like I said, they shouldn't hold value in your life. And honestly, just in general, anyone who's misgendering you, you really can just ask yourself, does that person hold value? And if that person holds value, you can ask yourself those other questions and really just determine whether or not it's important to correct them or to let time kind of just take its course. Okay? So being misgendered, it's annoying, it's frustrating, it makes you feel like you're not progressing, and it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing as hell. Trust me, I know. But at the end of the day, if you are who you say you are, then who gives a hell who's misgendering you? You are who you are, no matter what, you know? So just keep being strong, y'all. Like, I know y'all can do it. Y'all can make it through, but don't let it bother you, okay? Just take it with a grain of salt and just live your life, okay? And that's how to survive being misgendered.